In the previous part, we came to know that the American was interested in the statue of the horse and wanted to buy it. As Muni could not understand what the American wanted, he just went on telling him about his childhood days and about the end of the world. Meanwhile, the American had also planned how he would be taking the statue to his home in America. He also took out a 100 rupee note which he wanted to give to Muni as the price for the horse because he guessed that Muni was the owner of the horse. Now I will explain the last part of the story. We already learnt, children, that all his life Muni had earned very little in coppers and nickels, that is, in coins. Remember, children, the story was first published in 1960. So it depicts the life of a poor villager before the 1960s who got very little as his daily wage. So when the American waved the 100 rupee note before him, he looked closely at it as he had never seen that note in his life. Then Muni wondered as to why that man was showing him the note. Perhaps he wanted change. He laughed to himself at the notion means idea, of anyone coming to him to get a change for such a big amount, poor as he was. Then Muni said with a grin, means with a smile, that the American should ask the village headman for change, as he is also a money lender and was so rich that he could change even a lakh of rupees. Then Muni told the American a secret that if the floor of the headman's puja room, that is, room where they worshipped the gods, was dug, then his head will reel. Head will reel means he will be shocked to see the huge collection of money there. And the headman used to disguise, means he used to dress up in rags, that is, old and torn clothes, just to mislead and fool the people. In reality, he was a very rich man, but he used to dress up like a very poor man. Muni told the American that he himself should talk to the headman for the change, as he went mad when he saw Muni because someone had stolen his pumpkins with the creeper, and the headman thought that it was Muni and his goats who did that. Now, while Muni was saying all this, he looked at his goats grazing in the dry earth. The American followed his look, that is, he also looked at what Muni was looking at, that is, his goats. He thought that it could be a sound policy, means it would be a good idea if he showed interest in Muni's goats. He thought that it would make Muni happy and he would then easily sell the statue to him. So he went up casually to the goats and stroked their backs, that is, moved his hands over their backs and patted them. Now the truth dawned on the old man. Truth dawned means he realized the truth, that his dream of a lifetime was going to be realized, that is, his dream of a lifetime was going to become true. He understood that the red man, that is the American, was actually giving the 100 rupees for his goats. He had taken care of his goats in the hope of selling them someday, and with the capital, that is, with the money he got, he planned to open a small shop on that very spot. Sitting there every day, he used to dream that Muni used to dream that he would put up a thatched roof, spread a gunny sack on the ground, and keep on it fried nuts, colored sweets, and green coconut for the thirsty and famished wayfarers. Famished wayfarers means hungry travelers on the highway. Now, as I had told you earlier, children, Muni had a flock of 40 sheep and goats at one time, but due to some epidemic, they all had perished, and now he had only 2 goats left. and that too were not prize ones. Prize ones means they were not healthy enough to win a prize at the cattle show. But occasionally Muni used to spend some money to give them something good to eat. While he was reflecting, means while Muni was thinking about all this seriously, the American shook his hand. Then he kept 100 rupees in 10 rupee notes on Muni's palms. That is, he gave Muni 10 rupee notes, thinking that that was what the old man was asking. He thought that Muni would like to have the money in change. Then Muni pointed at the station wagon and asked the American if he was going to take the goats in that. Understanding that Muni was talking of transport, he said, "Yes, of course." Muni said that it would be their first ride, that is, it would be the first time that the goats would be riding in a motor car. He told the American to take off the goats when he had gone away from there. Otherwise, they would never follow the American but come after him only, even if he was traveling on the path of Yamlok. He laughed at his own joke. Then he went away from there and was soon out of sight beyond a clump of thicket. Beyond a clump of thicket means behind a group of bushes. He went away from there. The American looked at the goats grazing peacefully. Perched means sitting on the pedestal of the horse, he ruminated. Ruminated means he thought that Muni must have gone to get someone to help them, and so he waited there. After some time, when a truck came downhill, the American stopped it and got the help of a couple of men to detach, means to take off the horse from its pedestal and keep it in his station wagon. He gave them 5 rupees each, and then by giving them some more money, they siphoned off petrol. Siphoned off petrol means they transferred petrol with the help of a tube from the truck into the station wagon and helped him to start the engine. On the other hand, Muni quickly went home with the money safely tucked away in his dhoti. He shut the door and stole up softly, that is, went quietly to his wife, who squatted, means sat before the lighted oven, wondering if by some miracle food would drop from the sky. Muni displayed his fortune for the day. That is, he showed his wife all the money that he had got that day. She snatched the notes from him and counted them. She was shocked to find that it was 100 rupees, and she asked Muni how he came by it, that is, how he got it, and whether he had stolen that money. Muni told his wife that he had sold their goats to a red-faced man who was very crazy to have them and gave him all that money and had carried off the goats in his motor car. Just as Muni had said these words, they heard bleating, that is, the sound made by goats just outside their hut. When his wife opened the door, she saw their 2 goats at the door. She was surprised and wanted to know what the meaning of all that was. Muni had said that he had sold the goats and the American had taken them away, and now here the goats were there just outside their hut. How had they come back? Muni cursed as to what had happened. He seized, that is, caught hold of one of the goats by its ears and shouted as to where that man was, and didn't they know they belonged to him and why they had come back. The goat wriggled, means the goat twisted its body to be free as Muni held him tightly. Muni asked the same question of the other goat also. The goat shook itself off, that is, it made itself free and got away from the clutches of Muni. His wife glared, That means she looked angrily at him and said that if he had thieved, means stolen the money, the police would come that night and break his bones. She won't get involved in all that, and she would leave Muni and go away to her parents' house. So, children, in the end, we see that due to the language barrier between them, the American misunderstood and thought that Muni had sold the statue of the horse and took it away, whereas Muni misunderstood and thought that the American wanted his goats. But in reality, we see that both got what they wanted. The American got the marvelous statue of the horse, which he admired so much, and Muni got the money, which he needed so badly. It is when the goats come back that confusion starts between Muni and his wife. Muni wondered that when the American had taken away his goats, how they had come back. And seeing the goats, his wife thought that Muni was telling all lies and that he had stolen the money. So, in this way, children, the title of the story is also suitable because the most amusing part of the story lies in the confusion between the horse and the goats by both Muni and the American. So, children, we come to the end of this story, A Horse and Two Goats. I would like you all to watch the videos of all the 5 parts and note down the meanings and important points. And children, I have explained this story by displaying the pages on the screen so that those students who don't have their books, they can take a screenshot of all the pages and read them and revise for their exam.